Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1066. Happy Thursday. We've got some snow. We have a white Christmas 3 days late. I looked out the window. I had heard that we were supposed to get like a wintry mix yesterday, and we got nothing until I woke up this morning and look out the window, and looks like we got about an inch of snow on the ground. So hopefully it goes away because I don't want any weather competition for this Saturday's Madison card show. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be a fun one. Like I mentioned yesterday morning, I'm getting more messages, emails, comments on Facebook about this weekend show. It's going to be a fun one. Baseball Card Exchange is going to be in town. They will be set up buying and selling. You could even submit your sealed wax. They'll take it back. Steve Hart will authenticate it, wrap it, ship it back to you. So Baseball Card Exchange will be in the house. Our show sponsors, the Lion's Den. Jim's got a great setup right as you walk into the upstairs ballroom. A lot of antique stuff. 5-star cards. They'll be taking your submissions for PSA and SGC. Stop by and see Matt and his kids. He's got some good bargain boxes too. And the Ferry Brothers, unfortunately, won't be set up, but they are a show sponsor. They'll be back next month. They have great boxes down in the Williamson Ballroom on the first floor. They won't be set up this Saturday, but they'll be back in January. So come out, see us. 135 dealer tables, 75 dealers. It's going to be a packed house, fun times. I'll have new quarter boxes, some new dollar boxes, and I'll be set up. You can shop my boxes as early as 7 a.m. this Saturday. Early birds are welcome. Show hours run 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Sheraton Hotel, 706 John Nolen Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. Admission, zip, zilch, nada, free admission to the Madison Card Show. So that's this Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. And unfortunately, we're going to talk Card Dealer Pro 2.0 this morning. Going into yesterday, I was my plan was to, I've got some shipping done, and I'm going to focus on listing. Well, I couldn't do that. I was juggling multiple items yesterday, so I had to do a little more shipping. And also with the Madison Card Show, not only do I have a bunch of new dealers, and sold out 135 tables, 75 dealers. I'm also doing new signage. So I ordered new signs. The original signs were beat up. They were on poster, like clipped to foam board on this tripod stand. That's the stands are pieces of crap. And so I wanted to go in with the new year. We'll start out December 30th with new signage, but I had spent more time than I should have trying to think of a way to put sponsors on the signs. Now, you say, well, just print just print the posters. I wanted nice, sturdy signs. I don't want because they can get, torn, and I don't want to glue them onto it like a foam board, because if I have sponsors go in and out. Now, the 3 sponsors I do have been sponsors like on a monthly basis. It's just, keep me going. But every once in a while, I'll get some sponsors. They'll sponsor for a month or two, and then they, stop sponsoring, come back. And so I wanted a way where I didn't have to keep ordering new signs with new sponsorship logos. So I'm going to do the Velcro route, and I'm starting to get antsy because it's Thursday. So my wife's going to print the logos off today on some cardstock, laminate them, and then I'm going to get some Velcro. And so we're going to Velcro onto the bottom of these signs. The foam board signs, to have them printed on like this foam board is more than I was hoping and expecting. It was like $60 for these signs. Now, they're sturdy and they should last a while. And with the Velcro idea, I don't have to, print them. So, but I'm like, Jesus, 50, $60 for these signs. So I bought 3 of them. So we'll have one at the main entrance of the Sheraton Hotel at the lobby. We'll have one in the Williamson Ballroom. We'll have one upstairs in the Capitol Ballroom. So I bought new poster stands. They have a base and they go straight up as opposed to having a tripod, because I have to get strategic where I place them, because I don't want people tripping over, one leg of the tripod. So these go straight up, much cleaner. So it's going to be a nice look. So the signs in the sign stands were delivered just before Christmas, but I kept them in the boxes. So yesterday I wanted, it's getting time. It's getting close. I need to practice putting these up. When I first started pulling these poster stands out, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a pain in the ass to have to put together every month. Actually, it was like surprisingly easy. And then I had to get my maps together and just make sure, because I've turned a lot of dealers down. I had like a couple, I had 1 or 2 spots that I hadn't filled. So I got those filled. We're sold out with a waiting list, but can't make it. So I expect to have some of those messages here today and tomorrow. We shall see. So unfortunately, I didn't get to spend as much time as I had hoped. I won't today. I won't tomorrow. So I won't have. And this is kind of when Car Dealer Pro 2.0 was launched. I kind of had a feeling, based on how the calendar was falling, I wasn't going to have like a true day to test it out, like the whole day until after New Year's, because we had going into Christmas and now going into the Madison card show. So, after the weekend, I'll get caught up on shipping. So Monday or Tuesday of next week, I'll really get to test it out. But yesterday was a nice little start to really figure it out. And it did give me a good gauge of, how much better the Car Dealer Pro 2.0 update is compared to the original version, how much more accurate it is, and also working with it for, a few hours back to back. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 8 batches yesterday, about 600 cards. I learned some stuff that makes it a little more efficient. And then there's some things that I need to send off to Car Dealer Pro and say, hey, is it possible to do this and that, which I want to talk about today. So it's December 28th, and I've been thinking, what are my goals for 2024? I don't know if I'm going to do a video. I need to do a video on Hall of Fame also. We can talk about Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. It's a joke. I always do like hobby goals, and I can't remember what I did. I guess I could go back and look at last year's video to see what my goals for 2024 were. But I don't know if I'm going to do, I have business goals that I like, it's kind of, evolving. But like, as far as hobby goals, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to hit 1 million. And I was thinking about this yet. Like, am I going to have hobby goals for 2024? Like, I don't think so, because I don't know. Why am I not going to have hobby goals? I don't know. I guess it's more, even though I'm focusing more on, I think the main reason I just haven't thought about it, maybe part of the reason is I don't really care. Like, do you really need goals for a hobby? I guess I always compare, like, because a lot of my friends don't collect cards, but they golf. I don't golf, but I collect cards. And I'm thinking, do they go out, do they set goals like, in 2024, I'm going to play 18 different courses, and I'm going to try to get a hole in one and score whatever the low score is for an amateur. Probably, right? I'm sure some are more informal than others, but I guess you can have hobby goals. So, I mean, essentially my goal is 1 million cards, but Cubs cards, which may or may not have already happened. Stay tuned. So it's one of those things, like, and my big thing is, if you're going to set goals, make them smart, the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable. Is that the A? What's the R? That the R is the one I always forget. Timely. Like, I'm going to lose weight. And the reason you need to make them smart is, if you just say, I'm going to lose weight, like, how much weight? How are you going to do it? Like, you need to be specific with your goals. And, you can't, you can't just say today, my goal for 2024 is to collect 1 million Ryan Sandberg cards, and you have 400. It's not very realistic. Realistic. That's the R. So it's like, I don't really, like, I'm just going to hobby. Like, my Cubs cards are my hobby. I don't need goals. And maybe it's because I'm getting close to 1 million, and it's like, well, I'm almost there. I'm not going to be, I guess I could be specific. And here's why I don't think I want gold, because I am starting to organize my Cubs. I'm starting to log on Trading Card Database. If I set out to make a goal of being more organized and logging more on TCDB, what it turns into is a job. Because I would have to make those goals, I would have to say, I am going to log 100 Cubs cards per day on Trading Card Database. And eventually I'm going to get like freaking, I've got to hit 100. And it becomes work. I want to log my Cubs collection on TCDB when I want to. Yesterday, I logged, I don't know, like a dozen, maybe 20 cards. Just like, I'm going to log. I had like 5 or 6 sitting next to me. I'm going to log these on TCDB. I don't want to be like handcuffed to having to do it. Same with organization. Like, I am going to sort and that was actually one of my hobby goals several years ago, pre-COVID probably, was I'm going, actually, it probably, I think I was blogging. It was probably part of my 1 million Cubs blog. I was going to organize, I was going to sort 1,000 Cubs cards. Now, this is before I was doing, eBay sales full time. And really, I was just kind of here and there selling on eBay. It wasn't like I was doing any volume sales. So this was 2018, probably 2019, maybe. So it's like, it becomes work. So the reason I'm not setting hobby goals is because I don't want it to turn into work. And then it isn't a hobby anymore. Like, that's the last thing I want, is to come down to the basement and be like, I've got to sort cards. That's work. So no hobby goals for 2024. Confirmed. All right. What's going on in the chat? I've been babbling long enough. We've got Bill Simus in the house. Good morning. Victor's here. Happy Thursday. Ryan Sells is here. Good morning. Boston Smoke is in the house. Donald Davis. Good morning. Jordan, what's happening? Good morning. Hall of Fame card collector Mikey is here. He says, good morning, Bo. I have deleted Whatnot and sticking with eBay. Whatnot can get addicting if you're on there buying. So that's, if that's the road you're going down, if you don't want to fall into that Whatnot trap or eBay trap, whatever, just delete the app. Grinding for good. What's happening? Happy Thursday. Low Roller Scratcher wants to know why you deleted the Whatnot. You're missing out on some giveaways. Undrafted player, what's going on? France checking in. What's happening? Always enjoy to watch your cap and remember me. The modern Italy was united in 1861. Happy holidays. Oh, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm wearing the Italia hat. We're planning a Europe trip, my wife and I, with some friends of ours for next probably June or July. So next summer is going to be, it won't be as crazy, even with a European vacation and the National in Cleveland next summer. Still shouldn't be as busy as this past summer was with the house stuff. So we have no idea where we're going to go. My wife is, I don't care. Like I've been to like 4 countries. I've been to Italy. I've been to Belgium. I've been to Netherlands, and I've been to, on a day trip, Luxembourg. That's it. So I'm like, I'll go wherever. I mean, I don't want to go to Africa. I don't want to go to Asia. I know Asia's a continent. Well, so is Africa. Like those continents, India, I don't want to go to India. I don't want to do, I'm not into Cancun. Like that's not my scene. So like the Caribbean and Mexico is not my thing. There's some countries that you can't really travel to. Europe's usually safe. So I'm like, I really don't care. I'd love to go back to Italy, but I've been there, so I get it. Like, we don't have to go there again. Now, my wife's pushing for Switzerland. She's been there, but it's been like 25 years. She was in 25. Yeah, she would have been like in high school. So, might be Switzerland. I'd kind of like to do Sweden. I've got a lot of ancestry in Sweden, but I don't know. Is like Sweden, like do you go on vacation? Like, I don't know. I guess it's you can have no matter where you go. So those are some options. We were supposed to do France in 2020. COVID. Fucking COVID. F COVID, man. We were supposed to do England and France in 2020. Going to watch the Cubs and Cardinals in London, and then we're going to go over to Paris. Didn't happen. So, and then the Cubs sucked, and it's like they played in England last year. It's like, nah, I don't want to go now. They suck. Shane's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Mikey says, how much is a sponsor show? So my show sponsorship. Say that 3 times really fast. $100 per month. And that's basically, it just goes into Facebook advertising. So I just put that money into Facebook advertising. And then, so if you've seen the Madison Card Show ads, that's what the sponsorship entails. Now, as an added bonus, you get signage at the actual show, which probably should have been part of it all along. But at the very beginning, I'm like, this is what it is. You get a mention on the Facebook ad. And so you basically get free advertising. Well, not free, $100 advertising each month. And basically that $100 is $100 of advertising. So that I use all of that money, and then I pitch in my own money to boost it up, because I have 3 sponsors, so $300. I'm like, I want to do 400 or 500 on advertising. So you get, and I put I just started figuring out how to link my sponsors within the ad, so it makes it much easier. Like, hey, how do I get a hold of this guy and that guy? There you go. It's right there in the ad. Low Roller says you should list Jarrett Stidham since he's the new Broncos quarterback. Russell Wilson got benched. You know what? I think yesterday I did list Jarrett Stidham just randomly. It wasn't, I didn't plan. Was it here? I'm pretty sure my last batch, I'm pretty sure had a Jarrett Stidham rookie card. It's in here somewhere. Of course, I've got to go through the entire batch. Pretty sure. I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure. That was unplanned. Let's see. Mikey says, because I was addicted to the brakes on there before it got totally out of hand, I needed to break the problem. That's smart, man. That's the way to be. Paul Carl's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Hopefully I don't text you too much. Oh, I don't think you have. No. Johnny says, good morning. Been doing test runs of scans on my flatbed for CDP. Don't seem to get the black border around the whole cards, only like two sides. So that's a scanner thing. So the black border that you see on my scans is from my scanner, and then I build, and I think it's like 2 millimeters or something, whatever the setting is within the software from Rico. It's like border whatever, so it's just a black border, and then I set it to like 2 millimeters or whatever. So that black border you see on my listings is from the software I use with Rico. So I'm sure whatever scanner you're using, whatever software you're using, I'm sure there's a setting somewhere in there very similar where you can put that border around it. Mark Marinello, what's up? Good morning. What's your New Year's collecting resolution besides the million Cubs? And I think that's what I might have just started talking about that right as you were typing that. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do goals, which is probably the same thing as a New Year's resolution, right? I don't do New Year's. It's snowing again. I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I have done hobby goals in the past. No hobby goals this year, but getting to 1 million. Eric says, oh, shit, Eric, I'm sorry to hear that. Yep, January 27th is that. Just email me. I did not have you on the list, so just email me when you want to set up, and hopefully you're feeling better. Let's see. Low Roller says put $20 limit on Whatnot so you wouldn't spend. There you go. Maybe he can't do that. Neil says good morning. What's up? Max says goals are for the people that read self-help books. Feel good BS. Hey, I like some self-help books are pretty good. Let's see. Undrafted player says I'm on YouTube. One of the best ones. How to win friends and influence people. Like, I think it's a must for anybody. It's a must, especially if you're in business. It's a must read. Dale Carnegie. Looking at it right now. How to win friends and influence people. Undrafted player says I'm on YouTube because none of my family or friends care about collecting cards and others in other collections. Right. That's same here. Although that's like, so the Madison Card Show has opened me up to like people with the collecting bug. There's not too many, like everybody travels from all over the place, but at least there's a few that I know from the Madison area. So it's like every month we have this nerdy get together, the Madison Card Show. Just create your own club. That's what my wife had lived. Like, she grew up in Madison, but then she went off to University of Indiana, I said that wrong. Indiana University. She was a Hoosier. She went off there, and then she went to St. Louis. She worked in St. Louis for like 7 or 8 years. Then she worked in Chicago for 3 years. And then like a year before we met, she had moved back to Madison. So she got into real estate with her family. And she didn't have any, like, her friends from like high school had gone off and done other things. So there was like no friends that she had, she didn't have any friends. So she just became friends with her clients. So it's like, hey, so now when we go out to dinner, like, it's like real estate talk. Although usually it's like the first year or two, it's the house talk. And then finally it's like, okay, and then all of a sudden you get a couple year buffer. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're going to list our house. And then it's listing your house talk. Mark Marinello says, I always say to myself that I'll spend less money on baseball cards. That lasts about a week. I don't think I've ever said that. And there's been times where I should have said that. Shane says, golfers absolutely have goals of making certain shots and going to different courses. My brother-in-law golfs a ton and is really good. He has goals for everything you just talked about. Okay, so there you go. See, usually that's like golf is like the is what I always compare, because like my friends that have hobbies, it's like golf. And so that's like the hobby. Well, it's like I tell my wife, it's like, well, I could go piss away $100 a weekend playing golf, or I could piss it away on baseball cards. Sometimes I think she'd rather me piss it away on the golf course than sitting in our basement looking at baseball cards. Neil says you need a game plan for your goals. There you go. Terry, good morning. What's happening? Low Roller's got a goal for 2024 to strike goal to get rich in the lottery. There you go. So I can buy my own wife in 2024. There you go. You can don't they have mail order brides still? You could probably buy a wife today. Undrafted player says my collecting goals are just having fun. Don't be on bankruptcy and try to be more organized than I am right now. There you go. Dan, what's happening? Eric says Fanatics Live, better than Whatnot. I have not seen Fanatics Live yet. I did dabble on eBay Live a couple weeks ago. I just wanted to check it out, see what it was like. I've not been on Fanatics Live yet. Sap Sports Cards, good morning. I actually get to catch you live during holiday break. Thanks for all the information you shared. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Mark says European hobby evolution sounds like a hoot. Was I doing? No, I was not doing hobby evolution the last time we went on vacation. I've done spring training hobby evolution. I don't go live every day out in Arizona, but I usually about twice, 2 or 3 times while I'm out there, I'll pop on. And it's a little later in the morning because I'm on, Pacific time out there. Well, it depends. It depends on what time of year I go, because they don't do daylight savings. So one year it's depending on the time of month I go, it's mountain time. Sometimes it's Pacific time. Probably won't do any live streams in Europe though. Where we at? Donald says my resolution for 2024 is to try and have a card show in Macomb. Yes. Hey, I know at least one. And maybe Mark Twitchell. Maybe Mark Twitchell will be set up. I know Dave Arnold will set up. Where's BPC at? Dave's not checking in yet. I know Dave will set up at your card show. I think, and I say about card shows, around where I'm at, there's too many. Like, there's just too many. But there are areas that I think could benefit from like the collecting community could benefit from card shows in other places. Macomb is a good example. Our friend Brian down in Quincy, I think Quincy could use, and we're not talking like 100 plus tables. I'm talking like a 25 to 50 table show at the American Legion or the Elks Lodge or whatever. It seems Peoria, and I think Donald, you've been to some Peoria shows. I think Peoria, going into like the last couple of years, it was certainly like underserved in card. There was like a yearly show. That's it in Peoria. Peoria is a big city. So I think there are areas that are underserved, and it doesn't have to be a huge show. It doesn't have to be a 2-day show. It doesn't have to be 100 tables. You can get away with a 25 table show in some of these areas. And I think that's a great idea, Donald. Let's see. Where are we at? Eric says, no, they do other cards. I bought into Leaf Century the other night. That dude from Duryea, has full-time cards made your personal collection less fun? Ooh, this is a good question. Simple answer, no. It has not made my personal collection less fun. If anything, it's made it more fun. I will say the one thing that is less fun is buying at card shows, because when I was doing this, especially during the boom, when I could make, and the thing is, I'm making more on my bargain boxes now than I was during the hobby boom. But during the hobby boom, say I made $300-400 selling quarter cards, I'd take that across the room and go buy a couple T206 Cubs cards. Now I make, $300 or $400, making a little more than that doing the boxes setting up now. But say it was 300 or 400 at a show, and every once in a while, if I find a good deal, I'll buy. But it's not like that 300 or 400 isn't like just play money anymore. It's business money. So say I make 400 at a show, and it's like, okay, this is a better show. I was expecting to make 200 or 300 today. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take 100 and put it into my personal collection and go buy that T206 card. So that part is less fun. Like the personal collection buying at card shows is less fun because now my income at card shows is, business income, and it's not just fun money anymore. So that's the only thing that's less fun. So all things considered, I would say no, it's not any less fun. If anything, when I'm buying collections, it's like, here's a business expense, and we're just going to set these Cubs aside, right? And then, mark off whatever the expense was. So I would say no. It is not made in I have the ability to spend more time with my personal collection now than I did before, but I don't because I mainly, do business. Yesterday, if I wanted, I could spend the whole day with my Cubs listing on or logging on trading card database, but I don't because I've got to list inventory. I've got to ship inventory. So I would say no. It's as fun as it's always been. Down on the farm, what's going on? Speaking of the Cubs, how do you feel about their offseason? I don't have any feelings because it's December 28th. So a lot of people are in. We talked about patience yesterday. Good segue from yesterday's topic. It's December 28th, and there's still a lot of free agents available. Getting Ohtani was a pipe dream, so I don't even consider that a loss. We also have to take into consideration that it's not a one-way street. The Cubs can't just throw money at Shohei Ohtani and be like, here's $600 million, $700 million. Come to Chicago and play for the Cubs. It doesn't work like that. Shohei Ohtani has to say, yes, I will take all your millions and come to Chicago and play for your Cubs baseball. It's a two-way street. The player also has to make that decision to, yes, I agree. And I don't think he was ever going to agree to come to Chicago. It was just leverage. So he could stay in LA and get $700 million. Well, deferred, whatever. So I can give a fair assessment of how I think about the Cubs offseason in February. As we approach February 1st, we're 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting. Then I think we can all give an honest assessment of how the Cubs offseason went. I don't know if this is just a social media thing or if it's just our generation. This generation is now the most impatient ever. But it's like, why? Oh, the Cubs are the last team to not do anything. Jed, where are you at? It's like, would you do fans that are impatient about that? Do they just want the Cubs to go out and sign players to sign players? Would it have been nice to get Ohtani? Absolutely. Yamamoto? Absolutely. I don't think those two were ever in consideration. I don't think they ever considered the Cubs. I don't think Yamamoto even met with the Cubs. That's his decision. It's not like Jed was not trying. Bellinger's still available. I honestly don't want Cody Bellinger because I don't think he's worth what he's going to get, even though I think his market has dropped considerably. I don't know which Cody Bellinger you're going to get. Are you going to get 2023 Cody Bellinger and 2017 Cody Bellinger, or are you going to get 2021 and 2022 Cody Bellinger? So that's just, I'm like, I don't know. Rhys Hoskins is still out there. Matt Chapman is still out there. There's still pitchers out there. There's still potential trade out there. Dylan Cease is on the trade block. Who else is on the Bo Bichette? Possibly. Pete Alonso, possibly. The Guardians have been mentioned. So it's December 28th. You know, if we start getting close to February, end of January, you know, I'll start getting nervous if this is kind of par for the course. But I think we still have a solid month before we can really judge how the offseason has gone. Donald says, I support Mikey's choice on deleting Whatnot, and good luck on his eBay store. Thanks for the discount on the cards I bought yesterday in your eBay store. Yes, Mikey is gonna go the eBay route. Undrafted player says you did lots of European countries. Switzerland is a great country to visit, like the UK, Ireland, Spain, and Portugal too. You know, England's a place that I had never really. I think the older we get, the more into our ancestry we become more interested. Like my brother my brother was like super into our like family history for a while. And I'm like, and my brother's like a gearhead, you know, he basically got like all the traits from my dad that I got none of, like putting shit together, building shit. My brother got all those traits. It's like, am I adopted? But I've done the DNA thing. And it's legit. I am my dad's son. So I just didn't get the building shit DNA. So I think it's just the older we get, the more interested we become in our family history and the ancestry. And so England was always a country that I'm like, I don't really want to go to England. But then as I like get my DNA on ancestry, and it's like, oh, I wonder if I could, because my brother actually did go to England and like research some of our family history. It's like, well, that's kind of cool. And that's kind of why Sweden is a place that I'd like, because my grandmother on my dad's side is from, her parents came over from Sweden. So my great grandparents came from Sweden to America. Kyle's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. On the road, stuck at a very long train crossing. Those are annoying. Long train crossings. Shane says Wilson got benched to save about $30 million on guaranteed money next year. If he can't pass a physical in March, we owe him a bunch of money, so they don't want him to get hurt. Yeah, I read that they plan to cut him in March and all that. So that's I don't know. Is that like, was that a surprise? I follow the Bears, and that's really it. I don't really follow the other goings on in the NFL. So I don't know. Was that kind of a planned thing? Were the Broncos looking to do that, or did it come out of left field? And was it a surprise? Shane says it sucks, but it is what it is. Good morning, Flawed Thinker. What's happening? Corey Garcia, what's going on? Bob Boozle's in the house. Good morning. 4-Hour Work Week is the self-help book a lot of lazy people like me need. Right. You know what? I think it's one of those self-help books, those are, you know, like I said, Dale Carnegie, great book. And I think I might actually break it out. It's been a while since I've read it. And I think that's something that's timeless. And he wrote that in like the 1950s, I think. And it stands the test of time. So yeah, I think there's definitely a market. Some people poo-poo them, like Max poo-poos the self-help books, but I think some people, it really helps them. And nothing wrong with that. Shane says, tell the wife that at least you get some money back at some point with your cards. That's true. If you golf with $100, you will never get a penny of it back. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And then she'll be like my case, she asked me how much, or I think when some of her lady friends were over, they're like, of course, what's your most expensive card? What's your most expensive purse? How much did you buy your house for? So, you know, I shouldn't have spouted out the number of what that case is worth. And my wife's like, why don't you sell that? It's like, because it's not inventory. It's my collect. Why don't you, let's go into your closet and sell all your purses. And then it becomes silent. You'll be closing all your listings in your eBay store for temporary since you're traveling in Europe. So, what I'll do is I'll just have it out of office. So I'll keep my eBay store open so you can still purchase things, but you'll get this message that says this buyer is out of town until whatever date. Which I think significantly, I know John Keating, I don't know if John's with us this morning, but I know John Keating mentions he has his like out of office set. I call it out of office. I don't know what it's actually called on eBay, but I call it the out of office. We've got some big snowflakes out there, folks. Wow, it's coming down. Very pretty. I hope it goes away before Saturday's Madison card show. Anyway, John, I think yesterday mentioned that he's sets his out of office like half the year. So I'm curious, and I don't know what type of volume John's doing. I'm curious from a volume sales standpoint, because it's a lot different. If you're just passively selling on eBay as opposed to day in, day out, selling 100 items a day, what type of toll that takes. Because I've noticed when I set my out of office, it significantly hinders my sales, which is kind of the point. I need it to hinder my sales because I don't want to come back to 2,000 shipments, right? Down on the farm says, as a prospect analyst, they have the farm to go get pretty much anyone they want. And I love minor league baseball. I love prospects. I spend 6 hours a day when I'm out in Mesa at the backfields watching the minor league practices, and I'll watch the games. But with that said, I am all about using prospects as trade chips for proven commodities. And I think the reason for that is I've been burned way too many times falling in love with Cubs prospects, Ty Griffin, Earl Cunningham, name on, Felix P.A., Corey Patterson, so many, on and on and on. And it's like, I think a lot of prospect perverts are too tied to some of the guys. Like, oh, we can't. These guys are untouchable. Like, you can't have 10 untouchable prospects, because likely those are your trade chips. Those are the trade chips. There's really not in my eyes. And of course, it depends on, I don't want to give up Pete Crow Armstrong for a relief pitcher, right? But I'm open to trading Pete Crow Armstrong if it nets Dylan Cease or Pete Alonso. I'd prefer not to trade, a couple of the prospects, but that's what, and I see it's like, sometimes I'll see people tweet about, we don't want to block all these prospects. It's like, well, if the Cubs put out a lineup of all their prospects in 2 years, it might be 100-loss season, because, you don't have a full lineup of everyday players typically. Sometimes you do. But take a look at, previous top 10. So I am a big believer in using prospects as trade chips. And usually the guys that I'm, like, oh, Dylan, like I was like sayonara Eloy Jimenez in that Jose Quintana trade. Now, in hindsight, trade didn't work out. But at the time, it was a great trade. I loved Dylan Cease. And I've got receipts. Who cares about Eloy Jimenez? And most people were upset about Eloy Jimenez getting traded. But at the time, Jose Quintana had 2.5 years of control. He was coming off like a super strong, like contending for the AL Cy young pitcher. And he just didn't really, it's like, And then Eloy's hurt all the time, and Dylan Cease became Dylan Cease. The guy that I'm talking about, we should trade for Dylan Cease. When you're creating new listings, do you enable promoted listings right away? Yes, I do. Or do you enable promoted listings after the listing is created? I do it right away. Every item right away. It's just one of those things that, like, I'm a volume seller and I need in and out, in and out, in and out. So that extra 10%, if it moves a card faster, I'm all in. I don't want to sit on inventory. My job is to turn and burn, baby. Turn and burn. List and sell, list and sell. AA card says 3x faster. Wow. Good morning to you. Yeah, and 45 minutes in, we're going to talk about Card Dealer Pro 2.0. By the way, as we transition to our CDP 2.0 talk, if you haven't signed up, go to carddealerpro.com, sign up, use promo code CUBS, C-U-B-S, and when you sign up for any paid subscription, you'll receive 500 free scans from Card Dealer Pro. And you don't have to sign up for a subscription right away. You can test it out. You can do like a 7-day free trial. See if you like it. I do advise you to use it a few times to get used to it, because the first time you use it, you're going to, how in the hell it's with anything new, might be a little tough to navigate. So I would advise get used to it, build your efficiencies, use that 7 days, and then get that paid subscription. Use promo code CUBS. Let's see. Mark says, wonder how the teams who are willing to shell out $700 million are going to handle their own free agent players to be. And that's the age-old question. It's like, and that's why that's why I'm hesitant on the Cubs signing a Cody Bellinger. It's like, okay, if we get 2023 Cody Bellinger, that's awesome. But if we don't, and we're saddled with a big salary, it's like, well, who cares? It's not your money. But indirectly it is, because indirectly it goes into ticket prices and concession prices. And not only that, it affects you down the road. If you're handcuffed to $300 million contract, there might not be, and I know there's no salary cap in baseball and the Ricketts make a lot of money, but there's still a budget that they're going to stick to, whether we like it or not, whatever that number is. So that's my fear when it comes down to, well, yeah, let's just sign this guy, that guy, that guy. Let's just go shopping for everybody. It just doesn't work like that. In a perfect world, would I like that to be? Yes, but I know realistically that's not going to happen. Unless you're a Dodgers fan, that happens in LA, but it doesn't happen in Chicago. Neil says, my daughters just got back from 2-week UK trip, enjoyed it, but they didn't like the food. I've heard the food sucks in England. I have heard that. So I think that's like one of the most important things when you go on a trip like that, European or wherever else you're going. It's like, you got to go get some good food, right? Low Roller Scratcher says Russell Wilson should go back to playing baseball. There you go. Shane says, I was extremely surprised. We still have a chance to make the playoffs. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Good morning to you. It seems like it should be Friday already. I can't remember what day it is. It's Thursday, though, and we're going to talk about Card Dealer Pro 2.0. So yesterday morning, I said I wanted to take the day, spend the day with Card Dealer Pro 2.0 and just have a big old fat listing day. Unfortunately, other things threw a wrench in that plan, which I'd kind of figured that would be the case. The Madison card show is coming up on Saturday. I've got new sign stands, putting maps together. So I've got a little more stuff going on than normal. So Madison card show Saturday. Had a little bit of shipping done, but didn't really hold me back too much. So I wasn't able to just really hammer down on Card Dealer Pro 2.0, but I was able to spend a good amount of time, and I was able to spend a couple hours with it. And I did 8 batches, 600 cards total yesterday. And it's 3 times faster than 1.0. So basically what I did, here's one good gauge, because it's kind of hard. Most of what I listed. Now I could, in that time, if I was listing like junk wax stuff and all that, I could have listed maybe 2,000 cards in the time it took me to list 600. Most of the batches I uploaded yesterday were tricky sets where there's refractors, there's serial numbers, there's Bowman, which there's, multiple Panini football. So there's a lot of tweaking that I have to do. AI is just not there yet. None of the platforms are going to be completely accurate on serial numbers and the 77 different variations Panini puts out. So that's one thing you have to remember. Don't expect 100% accuracy unless it's 1980 tops, which is one set that I did do yesterday. So take that into consideration. The time it's spent to do 600, normally in the time it took me to do yesterday 600 in Card Dealer Pro 1.0, I would have been able to upload about 200 in the same amount of time because I was typing in everything. Why was it 3 times faster? The upload speed. It takes seconds to upload your batches. So you're not waiting 15 minutes for a batch and I'm going to go do my shipping, and it breaks up your efficiency. It's like, boom, upload. Oh, I'm ready to go. I don't even have time to take a leak, right? So that's way faster. Also, I don't have to type in, say I've got a batch of, the 2023 Bowman draft. I don't have to go in and type all this stuff in. I don't have to type in 2023 first Bowman draft BD 162 Jack Hurley Diamondbacks baseball card. Type in Jack Hurley, Arizona Diamondbacks. Bump, now on to the next one. Carson Rocafort. So now that set, even though the AI doesn't recognize those cards, the set is in the Card Dealer Pro database, and you can just do a drop down and find it. Boom. Carson Rocafort, and it fills in all that information on to the next one. So it took me what was it? I worked 2 to 3 hours on it. One thing that I did, so it's hard to tell time-wise what it would have taken me to do some of the, the Panini stuff, because there's Jarrett Stidham, it's a score rookie card. There's green prisms, there's Letterman or whatever, Flux, different prisms. So hard to get a gauge on how long it would take me to do that. But I did do 1980 tops. And it took me to list 80 cards from start to finish, 5 minutes. 80 cards, 5 minutes, 1980 tops. So it would have taken me 15, maybe even 20 minutes in Card Dealer Pro 1.0. Ironically, out of the 600 cards I listed some good shit yesterday. Jackson Holiday, some first Chrome Christian Encarnacion Strand, the football, bunch of football rookies. The Peyton did sell. Jordan Love rookies, Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons rookies, and some of those did sell. But I think, when did I look? I think the first 10 cards that I sold out of the 600 I uploaded yesterday, 9 of the 10 were from 1980 tops. And sure, there were some were commons. Let's go and look. Let's see. Just did a 15 card sale this morning. Oh, some more stuff. I'm getting super low ball offers on this damn soccer card. List more soccer. Take low ball offers. All right. So let's look up 1980 tops. Sold. See if the app works. The eBay app. Hey, it actually did work on the first try. Sold 1980 tops. So, and I put everything from 1980 tops. I just put $2. So Nolan Ryan sold for $2, and so did Vita Blue. So Dave Winfield. So these are all from yesterday's upload. 1980 tops, Dave Winfield, Vita Blue, Bake McBride sold for $2. Dale Murphy, Johnny Bench, Reggie Jackson, Nolan Ryan. Oh, so it wasn't 9. Or was this one? Nope, that was not. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess only 7. But still, 7 out of 80, like within 12 hours, not too bad. So overall, so that's the good. 3 times faster, like hardly any typing. The drop down search is amazing. The one slowdown for my efficiency, though, is I like to work out of one place. That's why I would on previous Car Dealer Pro, I would export the spreadsheet and work solely out of the spreadsheet. So I didn't like clicking back, and I hate clicking back and forth. That's the one issue that I don't like about 2.0. As I'm working, I like to work out of inspector view. So let me just bring up a batch here. Let's present. All right, so let's do this. So this was the most recent batch that I did last night, the football batch. So inspector view, say I want to change, say that Jamar Chase, say this is like, well, it's a rookie card. So say I want rookie card, like it says Cincinnati Bengals football card. Say I want rookie card. It's in the attributes down here, but it's not in my title, and I want it in my title. I want to be able to work out of inspector view. Like I want to go up here and click and do that, and I'm not able to. I wonder if I could do it here. No, you can't even do it. No, you can't do it there either. So what you have to do is you have to go click up here into overview, and then over here, and the arrows don't work. I thought they fixed that, but my arrows aren't working. So, and it's like, well, I want it to go over here. I can't go here and click the arrow button. I have to go over here and then type in rookie, and then go back over to inspector view, and you see it's updated. So that's slowing me down. So I wish I could work out of inspector view and just type in here. Also in overview, it's a pain in the ass. I don't even know. Oh, I guess I could. Oh, that would make it easier. Okay, so that'll make it a little easier in the interim, moving that arrow down. So, but you know, the arrow is not working. They sent out an email and said that the arrows were working now, but not in mine. Maybe I have to refresh or something. I don't know. So that's the one thing that's slowing me down, and I wish I could work out of in a perfect world. I don't know if it's even possible, but I'm going to submit a suggestion that you can edit in inspector view. Orlando's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Ethan is loving the updates. Me too. Absolutely love it. Donald says, try to find 1992 Top Stadium Club 606 Jeff Bagwell Members Choice. I didn't have any luck yesterday. Okay, let's try it. So let's go to, I got to get in the screen. Let's, how do we do this? Let's create a new batch. We're just going to type Bagwell test. Baseball, generic. Okay. $1. Okay, so we're going to search the database for an image. You know what? Just to save time, we're going to type in Jeff Bagwell and whatever comes up. 1990 best. All right, so we're going to add this card. All right. We go to inspector view and say this is the 1992 Stadium Club. We go to the database match and we go Jeff Bagwell, 1992 Stadium Club. All right. So that one, there it is. 606 Stadium Club Members Choice. The only thing, it just doesn't say Members Choice in the database. But if you type in Jeff Bagwell Stadium Club 606, I think that's what you said, right? 606, there it is. I assume that's the card you were looking for. Shane says, getting a feed scanner soon, so I will be getting CDP soon. Can't wait to try it out. Hell yeah. Don't forget to use promo code Cubs. Double A says you can change title. You have to hit that drop-down arrow, but you will have to rewrite the title. Oh, see, I just want to change, like, in this Jeff Bagwell reference, I just want to add, like, I want that title, but I want to add Members Choice. Like, I want that ability. I don't want to rewrite the whole title. I'll just go to the overview. I just want to go into inspector view and add members choice, Stadium Club members choice 606. CDP should create options for title customization. With my script, it automatically does all that stuff, detects RPAs, RC. It does. CDP does that. So in this example, let me see if in this example, members choice is not part of the database. So it's not listed as members choice in the database. So you would have to manually put members choice. But if it's a rookie, it'll add, you can create a template and you can go into attributes, go into connections, eBay listing template, connection settings. I think this is, is this it? Oh, wait, shit, I'm on the wrong. Maybe it's over here. Templates. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So in baseball, actually, this is something that I want to. How come it's not letting me edit? There we go. So here's, am I still, yeah. So here's how you can set your templates. So right now, my baseball template is set to player, set, card, numerical, team, and then I manually have baseball card in there. So I can also add in attribute. So if it's like a rookie card, so I'm going to put right there, attribute. So SKU, cert, serial number, rookie. So if it's a rookie, an auto. So all that stuff is in there. Where are we at? Should send them a ticket on that. It isn't a hard algo to create. I posted in the Facebook group chat that the lot of vintage boxing cards has almost paid me back half my investment with the sale of 2 cards sold in less than 30 minutes. Did I price too low? That's my first, when I sell something that fast, it's like, shit, did I price this too low? Let's see. Promo no good if already purchased. Probably not good. Yeah, I think, I don't know. Send them an email and say, hey, can I use promo code Cubs? It's worth a shot. Maybe I'll get a kickback. JG says, if you don't scan your cards for photos, is CDP still worth it? I guess that's up to you. Like I can't give you an honest answer because I haven't used it without scanning. So I don't know that. What I use Card Dealer Pro for is to be fast. And that it certainly does that. If you're not scanning your cards, you're not as fast. So, probably not, but I think it's something you can do a 7-day trial. Go to carddealerpro.com, do a 7-day trial and play around with it. And maybe it's not, but I think that's something that you'll have to decide on your own. Is it worth it to me? Because I don't know. I scan my cards, but I've never not scanned my cards using Card Dealer Pro. So it's just something I can't answer. Card Dealer Pro doesn't adjust title for less than 80 characters. I have to go in and change all the time because it will title 2020, 21 Panini Prism draft picks collegiate automatically, as an example. Yeah, and that's one thing I did notice when I was uploading the football batch, like the Panini Prism collegiate draft picks was one thing where I had to adjust my title because it was over 80 characters. Like I had to take off collegiate usually, or take out football card or something. So that's the downside, and that's the problem, and that's what I was telling one of the guys who's runs like the AI settings with Card Dealer Pro was, unfortunately, there's going to be instances where X isn't going to work for Y, and this is one example. Like, because if you that's the name of the product. And, you know, do you just change the name of the product? But somebody might want, you know, maybe you and I don't want collegiate on there. We just want Panini Prism draft picks. But the next person might want the whole title in there because they don't care about this. Because there's thousands of users with thousands of different ways of listing, and it's just not feasible to set in something like this to suit everybody's individual wants and needs. Victor's in the house. What's going on? But is it really a rookie card? According to eBay, the first 6 years are all rookies, right? And one of ones. Double A says, and that most always throws the title over 80 characters with player name, attribute, team name. Obviously, this is all nitpicking overall. It's much better, yeah. And honestly, with that example, there's not a simple solution. It's just, it is what it is. Because if you take one of those out, you know, say your batch is 100 cards and 10 of them are Panini Prism collegiate draft picks, and you change the settings, then your other 90 are going to fall short. So it's basically, you just have to pick and choose your battles. Let's see. Ethan says, started my new store Monday and have 476 listings. Cardio Pro is great. Have been struggling with the title lengths and number cards appearing in the title. So yeah, and I think that's just something you have to play around with depending on what you want in your listing. I mean, I've been using it for, you know, over a year and a half, and I'm still making tweaks to my title templates. It's like, well, do I want attribute in there? Do I not want it? You know, and it's one of those things where, again, like the Panini Prism collegiate draft picks example, it might work for this item, but then the next 5, it's like, okay, now I don't want it in there. So it's not going to be perfect. Paul says, damn, yeah, they should tweak that. For example, if it's a rookie card patch autograph, that's a ton of characters. So switching that out for RPA is ideal. And then only add the spelled out if, yeah. And I don't know enough about setting all that. You know more about that than I do. I don't know how that would work. So that's why I just go in and just edit manually. What's up, TD Sports Cards? Good morning. Does CDP add the item specifics too? Like if it's a silver prism, will it add silver prism to the parallel item specific? I think so. Let's see. Let's do. Am I sharing? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. All right. So silver prism. Let me go and check. Let's do a test. We're going to call it the silver prism test. Let's do football. All right, so we're going to type in silver prism 2021. All right. These are all okay. Let's do, I've got a Peyton Manning over here. Peyton. Okay, 2021 Panini Prism Silver Peyton Manning. Here we go. We'll go into inspector view. That's weird. There's a back image, but not a front image. All right. So Panini Prism Silver. So it's not, because my template is not set up, but I did want to go in here to see where the silver prism comes up. So it's under subset parallel. So let's go back to my settings and subset parallel. And under football. Subset parallel, subset parallel, subset. There's a subset. Let's do it after set. All right. Is there a parallel or is it just the subset? I just see subset. All right. We'll edit that. Okay. So let's go back. I wonder if I probably have to do it again. Oh, okay. So it did. So it automatically updated. So it says So with the subset after Panini Prism, so Peyton Manning 2021 Panini Prism Silver, number 30, Indianapolis Colts football card. So yes. So it will add the silver prism part if you have the attribute listed in your template. Value Box Digger says, how many cards have you sold in December? People can list 3 times faster, but are you selling 3 times faster? Well, I can't. I've only listed I was 3 times faster yesterday. So we'll see if my sales will come in 3 times faster. Probably not. Double A says the answer is yes, even if you don't have attribute listed. So my volume is and I think I went over this a couple days ago. My volume is down. Let's see, this month. It was down a couple days ago. Yeah. So I'm over 2,200 items sold. So here's the good thing. My quantity sold is down 20% this month over last month, same period last month. But my net sales are up 20%. So even though my volume is down, it's 20% down on quantity and it's 20% up on net sales. So even though my volume is down, my net sales are up. I'll take that. Let's see. Ethan says, if you click on subset, it will bring up all parallels of that cards to choose from in my experience. Paul says, I mean, in the eBay listing item specific, not the title. In the eBay. Yes. Yeah. So that's what, so here's where it is. If you can see it, can you see it? I might have to take there you go. So all of this stuff, this is the inspector view in Card Dealer Pro. All of that stuff, those are all attributes. So the type, sports trading card, year 2021, brand Panini, set Panini Prism, card number 30, player Peyton Manning, subset it's silver, team Indianapolis Colts. So what I was showing was will it populate within the title? And yes. So basically anything that shows up in the attributes, you can have it automatically populate in the title, whatever you want. And I play around with that. So now that I see that, I'm glad we're kind of walking through this because it actually gives me some time to actually sit down and play around with it. And now I can go into my own settings and change this. So I'm not manually typing in Prism Silver when I'm uploading some of these cards. So, all right, what else we got? Value Box Digger says, so what I'm hearing is there will be 3x the competition now. Hopefully not. I want people to use Card Dealer Pro, but I don't want them to be my competition. I guess you can't have it both ways, right? So that's my thoughts on Card Dealer Pro 2.0. 3 times faster. So it's a lot of fun. So today, what's today? Thursday, still snowing, big flakes. I'm gonna have to shovel. So that's another going to slow me down today. I got a freaking shovel. So I've got a lot of shipping to do because I did make a lot of sales last night. Here's the thing: when you're listing 3 times faster, you don't get those sales 3 times faster. At least right away, you don't. So it's like I've listed like 500 cards, and I'm like, none of these have sold. I'm like having a little pissy pants tantrum, and then all of a sudden, it's like I'm hitting the couch at 8 o'clock last night, and it's like all of a sudden, boom, 15 card order, 10 card order. It's like, oh, hey, some of my cards are selling. Now that's what I like, and now I have to ship today. Let's see. Value Box Digger says, what? We have rain. Yeah, we have at least an inch. At least an inch. I can't change my camera. Let's see. Paul says, just checked item specifics and the live listings are messed up on mine. Let's see. What listing are you looking at? Let me see. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the latest listings. Let's try to find one that has different attributes. Well, I can't find one right there, so let's go into Derrick Henry. Football, Derrick Henry, star status green, Donruss Elite, Tennessee Titans, number SS14. Oh, improper syntax. So the one thing that I do notice is on manufacturer and set, and this is something I did submit to them. It says manufacturer Donruss 2021 Donruss Elite, which hopefully that's in the works. What else are you seeing? Is that the only thing that you're seeing? Let's see. Brett Favre. Let's see. Football. The only thing I'm seeing that's messed up is the manufacturer and set. And I did mention that. I don't know how easy of a fix that is in their back end. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm seeing. For features, it will put RC instead of rookie. Oh, I did not see a rookie. I did notice that on that. Was it Jeff Bagwell? Interesting. Greg Lopez in the house. I notice if I find a match, the brand won't update, but when I type in brand match, goes away. Do I have to make sure card matches in order to list, or is it okay not to match? So you don't have to match it doesn't have to match within Card Dealer Pro to list it. As long as the specifics and settings and everything, say go back to this example of the Peyton Manning. If there's no match, but all of this information is the card that you're listing, it's okay. You don't have to match. I mean, in fact, like when I did all my Bowman draft listing, there's no matches for Bowman draft because it just came out 2 weeks ago. So no, it does not have to match within Card Dealer Pro. Just make sure everything in there is what it should be on your card. Let's see. Value Box Digger says, how many people are searching on item specifics? Honest question, because I don't know, like, is RC instead of rookie? Like, is that something, and this I don't know, I'm asking Paul, is that something that, is it going to screw up the eBay algorithm? Because, people aren't searching, if I'm searching and I see a rookie, like I want a 1983 Topps Ryan Sandberg rookie card, I'm not looking into item specifics, and I don't care. RC and rookie means the same to me, but in the back end on eBay, is that going to screw up some search? That I don't know. That's my question. Paul says easy fixes. Was curious because that was a fun project. It's more for SEO than eBay searchers. People using those filters are the minority, but still 10 to 100,000 people use them. Ethan says, does it drop down when you click on subset parallel? Does it drop down within? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's, say it matches as a silver, say it's not, say it's the base, boom. Oh, and there's the match. And it automatically updates your title, erases the silver, or say it matches the base, but the scan was wonky and it's like green shimmer. Boom, green shimmer. Autograph, green shimmer. So there you go. It's Panini Prism autographs, Prism green shimmer. And then the attributes AU, SN. So is AU, should it be autograph within eBay, or should it be AU? SN? I don't know. Let's see. The item specifics allow listings to show up for more keywords than are just in your title. Awesome. All righty. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Car Dealer Pro. Go to cardealerpro.com. Use promo code CUBS, CUBS. You'll get 500 free scans when you use that promo code and you sign up for a paid subscription. Don't forget, this Saturday is the Madison Card Show, 9 to 3, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolen Drive. Early birds are welcome. I'll be set up with my bargain boxes as early as 7 a.m. So come shop my bargain boxes Saturday morning. 135 dealer tables, sold out show. We'll have baseball card exchange in the house. They'll be accepting your sealed wax for authentication. They'll take it back. They won't be authenticating it on site, but they will take it back and they'll authenticate it and ship it back to you. 5-star cards will be in taking submissions for PSA and SGC. So going to be a good time this Saturday, Madison Card Show. Of course, you can shop my eBay store. Another 600 new listings added last night. Check those out. Buy 7 or more at regular price, and you'll save 25% at checkout. Last couple comments. Paul says, so like with my lots, I have all of the players' teams and the item specifics and full card names listed in the description. Lots then can show up for singles searches. Gotcha. Victor, thank you. Appreciate it. Talking Tatis, thank you as well. That's all for today. Like, subscribe, and tomorrow's Friday. We're going to play Name That Player. Hey, we had some fun last week doing some non-sport Hollywood cards. Let's run it back and do some more fun stuff like that. I'll try to put together today as I'm going through some stuff. Try to put together some random sports and non-sports for tomorrow. We got to get some wrestling in there for tomorrow. So tune in to the free-for-all tomorrow morning, and we'll play Name That Player. We've got a new scoreboard started last week. I've got Max's trophy right behind me. I'll see Max Saturday. He'll be set up at the show as well. Ethan, yes, absolutely. Talking Tatis is getting his answers in early. All right, have a great day. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.